Hello once again, and welcome to Tabletop Union. Welcome back if it's not your first time. If you're a new viewer, welcome. Today we're going to be looking at Lady Credo, the Rebel Lord for Necromunda by Forgeworld. I had told myself that I was only going to get non-character stuff at first, stuff for actually making the gangs, so like champions, brutes, hangers-on that any gang might need than the gang-specific ones. But I was reading through the first book in the Necromunda campaign that they're doing now, Cinderak Burning, and I thought it was great. I thought the story in it was fantastic. It'll be a while before I ever get around to playing it, but I was very taken by the character of Lady Credo. She's very pivotal to the story, and she is promising for some interesting times on Necromunda in the future, and I'm really looking forward to book 2. I figure they must be announcing it soon, since we've already seen the Cawdor vehicle and the upgrade sprue for the Ash Waste for them. And so I'm sure the rules will be in the next book, so they'll want to get that out. Could be that it's already up by the time I put this up, because there's delay in YouTube time. Plus it takes a really long time to render videos. Wow, did not realize. Anyway, she's got a lot of bits. She's a very fancy model. She's got servo skulls, fancy armor, billowing dress, very, very fancy high hair. So, yeah, we'll get it open and we'll take a closer look. I think this is my best job yet. Crack it open. Won't even empty it. Look at that. Would you look at that? Take that, clamshell package. So, here is Lady Credo, the Rebel Lord. She comes with a little card that you can maybe get laminated, so it's a little more durable and stiffer. It's got the rules for what her different abilities are. And we got build instructions with some detail view here. Looking pretty delicate, precarious. Those braids with the servo skulls on them. You got her great art there. Put that to the side. Now let's start having a look at her. First of all, here we have her torso and head, and boy, that is some intricate detail. It's Necromunda, so there's got to be a bow with a skull keeping it together. Sure. Better bring this up for a better look. She's got the veil over her eyes, which is pretty cool, and something I've been seeing them do a lot more across their ranges. Can offer some fun painting challenges, showing the sort of diaphanous, semi-transparent look to them, seeing a hint of what's beneath. She's got her corset, bodice, I don't know. Here we have part of her skirts. This looks like goes over her left leg. Right there, I think. Lots of little beads, pouches, and seals. It's got some nice detailing and trim. And it's going to require cleaning up, of course. And here we have the one for her other side, I guess. So they go together something like this. It's got to be cleaned up. But yeah, that's generally how it's going to go. So there's not as much detail on it. Just got like the half the bow that goes at her back. And what do we have here? So this is the ribbons from the bow at her back. It's a lot of flash to clean up, or whatever they refer to this as. I just call it flash. It's really thin stuff that'll just trim away easily. Otherwise, it's a little bit of, I'm not sure, like almost like maybe like the mold slipped or something at the end there, so I'll have to carefully clean that up. A little disappointing, but to be expected with Forgeworld. Here we have one of her legs with the very fancy and painful looking boot. It's a really cool style. Very, like, I don't know, is Baroque the word? Ostentatious. Plus a little BDSM thrown in. You know, just standard fun Necromunda. And here we have the other one. That's going to be partially covered by robes. And one of the servo skulls. It's got a little censer bearer that it's carrying around, censer ball with the wisps of smoke coming out of it, and the braid it's holding. Cool. I think these might be the first servo skull models I have. And here we have the other one. It's got some engravings on its shiny dome, little swirls. A couple little arms that it's using. And then her arm holding her pistol up. Up and back. Looks like she's got a cybernetic arm there. Never really noticed that before. And here we have her rapier. I guess it is a mastercrafted power saber, and the pistol was a mastercrafted las pistol. So pretty nice. As usual for pointed weapons, there's this little bit of extra that has to be trimmed off carefully. Haven't had any problems with that so far, but I know one day I'm gonna like snap off the tip of a knife or something. The fun of resin. But yeah, lots of really great detail in that the pommel and the guard and that, and the hand holding it with the pointed along the length of the sword there. Good form. We have her, lastly, her two braids that'll come from her hair and being styled and held up by the servo skulls, which are also, useful tools in battle. They are Sinestris and Dexterous. Gives her a 360-degree vision arc and count as photo goggles. Very handy. Stylish and handy. And her base, she comes with a 32mm base. And yeah, that's about it. So let's wish me luck in putting her together. And I'll be back when she's done. Okay, and welcome to my mini rant on assembling Lady Credo. First of all, it's a beautiful model. There's just no denying that. But I did have some troubles with it. First of all, I thought these were braids of her hair, but no, they're just the cabling of the servo skulls floating through the air. Although, like, this one is attached right up into her hair there, but that's just part of the arcane witchcraft they've done to make these things float, I guess. This one was, not so bad. I mean, trying to get the right angle for it and having it stay there and set, that was challenging. Then putting this one on, oh god, I was losing my mind, because the claws are supposed to attach the little ribbons on the bow because it's like pulling them tight. I've got to go in with a knife and clean up like all the stray strands of super glue because it got messy. And then trying to putting it over this one so it curled around wasn't so hard, but trying to get it so that it looked right and wasn't like sticking way up or touching like the back of her and stuff. Oh, it was just, I ended up putting a little glue down there just where they touch, just for a little bit of extra support. I'm not sure if the point of this is supposed to be touching the bow, like the ribbon in some way to sort of give it another point, but I couldn't. Some other issues. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. It's pretty hidden in there, so that's why I'm not too worried about it. But let's see. So you see this one boot. It's got the big, nice big heel. This one here, I didn't have one on mine. I went back and checked the footage of the unboxing to make sure I didn't snip it off, and no, there just wasn't one. And I've looked at other people's, and pretty sure like there's supposed to be a heel there. I just didn't have one. Some kind of error in the production, I guess. But like I said, it's really hidden in there. You can only really see it from like this angle, and no one's gonna go looking for that other heel. So like I said, I'm not too worried. Another thing is the knee here, like the boot. If you look at the picture, that's pretty well defined, pretty pointy and all that. Nice pointy beak. This one was kind of a fairly undefined lump, and I think part of the beak had like snapped off, so I had to do a little bit of carving with the X-Acto knife to try and give it some kind of point. I think it turned out all right, but still, these are expensive models. Also looking at, you can't really see it from this angle, but so you go to the Forgeworld website and look at the 360. These ribbons are more flush with the dress. They must have use boiling water or something to reform them to be more flush. I kind of like it streaming out like this. Gives some good good dynamic motion to it. Helps sell that with the swish of the capes and the ribbon and that, and capes, skirts. Wow. But yeah, I mean, it's a great model. It's lovely, but it was designed by an absolute sadist, I think. But I'm glad I have her. She is going to be a challenge to paint. I at first debated whether I'd put these on, but after the trouble I went with putting them on, if I'd waited until they were painted and then tried to do it, I would have just wrecked the paint job. So unless you're like some kind of wizard at gluing things together and can just like touch it to it and it's glued, I would probably glue them first and then paint. I know there's like the super glue activator or whatever that quick dries, like quick sets it. I don't even know if I could have used it because I would have needed a third hand to operate that little spray bottle. But I don't even have any. It seems to be a little less common in Canada. I've gone looking on like Amazon and that a few times and haven't seen it. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent. There you have her, Lady Credo, Rebel Lord. Like I said, she's a really interesting character in the Aranthian Succession campaign, Sindrak Burning book. So I'm happy to have her. I got a couple more Forgeworld things to unbox and build, but for right now, I think this is the last one. Kind of want to do a few other things before getting to them. So I hope this has been informative and entertaining. I hope you find my tips on assembling her useful, and also in deciding whether you want to have one all of your own. God, it is a beautiful model, though. Anyways, thanks for stopping by and watching the video, and I will see you next time. Bye.